Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to another video. Happy Friday. Hopefully your week didn't drag by like mine did, but now I'm to my favorite thing, which is making videos on currency. So if you're new to the channel, we go through pocket change and see if we can find things worth more than face value. So it's a really fun hobby to collect money, both coinage and paper currency of any type, not just US Federal Reserve notes or US coins. You can find lots of great things, and you would be just shocked to know how valuable some of the finds that you can come across right in your own pocket change can be worth. So let's jump right into it with this series 2013 $1 note. Now, nothing's changed with $1 notes graphically since the 50s. They added "In God We Trust" to the back of the note, but nothing's changed as far as what it looks like. So nothing to talk about there. In the serial number here, we have no patterns or what a lot of people would refer to as fancy serial numbers. So I don't see any value above $1 on this so far. But hey, that's the beautiful part of this hobby is, hey, you can go through a whole stack of your pocket money, change, whatever, and if you find absolutely nothing, unlike lots of other collectible hobbies, you have the same amount of money you started with. So that's the best part about this hobby. Nothing on the back of that note. No, let's see, Series 2017, so only difference here, of course, no graphic changes, just the signatures, and that's going to be the same for any series of $1 note, as well as $2 note for quite some time. Now, good condition, overall pretty clean. We have a little bit of either wet ink transfer, or it's simply a little bleed through of that coat of Washington through the back there. Other places to look would be on the shield, on the Great Seal here, or right down at the lettering around either Novus Ordo Seclorum on the ribbon here, or on the bottom of the pyramid, there is Roman numerals for 1776. Sometimes you get some issues with print around those. This is just damage, little bit of a shift in the seal, nothing in the serial number on this Series 2013 note, but just to point out the various areas you should really look, see if you find something valuable or error-oriented on the note you're looking at. Nothing really going on, little bit of bleed through here. Wet ink transfer is just from when the bills are printed. Sometimes it transfers from one bill to another due to the fact that, as you derive from the name, they're still wet and it transfers the ink. Keep on moving. 2013 Series $1 note. This is a really common thing across the 2013 series, and relatively like the first half of the 2017 series is over inks on a specific digit, in this case the third digit from the left. Massively common. I almost just consider it part of the standard printing almost, since especially on 2013 series, like 70% of them have that. Same dealio, this is really common, so unless you have a heavy bleed through or heavy wet ink transfer, then I wouldn't call it an error at all. Keep on moving along. Here we go. Although not anybody alive right now, a nice birthday note of February 5th, 247. So of course a long time ago. I refer to these more as just date notes for the fact that, currently, unless we don't know about somebody immortal or something, nobody is alive from 247. But I could almost put money on the fact that somebody was born that day. Pun intended. But I will hold on to this note. I love date notes. I like history quite a bit aside from collecting US currency. So I'll look to see if anybody historically important was born on February 5th, 247, or if anything historically important just in general happened on that date, and I will put it in the description box if that is indeed the case. But let's keep looking. Let's look at the back of the note. Little bit of discoloration just from handling. That's from the moisture and the oils on people's hands. So that's where you get that discoloring, unfortunately kind of gross brownish coloring out, which in this case isn't too bad. But I'm sure some of you have seen notes that are really, really disgusting looking. So I'll set that aside. Keep on moving on. 2013 series note as well. I'm just going to straighten these up a little bit. This is probably the most appropriately printed seal. Typically you'll see them shifted, but just a little tip from me, I guess. is that I don't really consider them a shifted print unless it's really off of the E or off of a letter, or if it's sitting down in one of these blank areas around. And then, of course, if it's obscuring Washington, D.C., which there's quite a bit of notes that both have been sent to me in email as well as I've come across over the years, that is a printed shifted print at that point. So if it's obscuring another part of the note, and it doesn't have to be this seal, but if anything is misprinted like that, then definite error. Usually you'll see the misprint with the serial numbers or the seals due to the process in which American money is printed. Nothing there. Gonna go a little quicker through these. This is a redesign 5 after the early 2000s to combat counterfeiting U.S. bills, since oddly enough, and probably for good reason since it's a smaller denomination, the 5 is one of the most, if not the most, counterfeited bill. Keep on moving along. I love the depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the back. If you are in the U.S. or visiting the U.S. and you've never been to the Lincoln Memorial, you should definitely visit it. Here we go, nice little trinary note. Now you can see kind of that bleed through slash wet ink transfer. Could be kind of one or the other. In this case, it looks like a little bit of a bleed through of the word one from the back of the note. Washington's kind of losing some color in his eye there. But a nice trinary note. I would have liked to see a binary note with just 2s and 0s, or a really good binary note with just 1s and 0s. And I would also have liked to see the 2s at least clumped together on this trinary note. A trinary note is any note with a serial number that contains the same 3 digits. Those are more collectible than valuable. Unless they're clumped really nicely, say if you had 2s, then 3s, then 4s, or whatever, 1s, 2s, and then 3s, you get the idea. Then that might command some premium over the face value of, in this case, $1. But otherwise, it's just kind of like a neat serial number, semi-collectible. But they are very common, so it'd be more of your personal like for trinary notes. That's another great thing about any hobby, especially this one, is collect the stuff that you like. You know, some people might say, oh, that's not valuable, but to you, it might be. A little bit folded up $100 bill I got from work the other day. Now, these are the newer $100 notes. This is a Series 2013. Of course, there's Series 2017. As you can tell, despite the fold, the $100 note's in really good condition. Now, one thing that is interesting to me is that little mark these marks right up here, these blue and red marks. Now, it could be a few things. It looks like it runs across and to the back of the note. It could be just simply when they received the stack of these at the bank, they marked them for whatever reason in that fashion. Some banks do it differently. But I think that's really interesting, that little pink and blue coloring there. Now, that pink coloring looks like a highlighter mark in my opinion. And is not a color that's used on U.S. currency in the $100 note. So that is interesting, but I'll set it aside to take a look at those marks a little closer. But them being that small, even if they were an error, it wouldn't command a major value, but in any case would be something I'd want to hold on to. So I'll set that aside. There was nothing on the back there other than a bleed through from that pink and blue marker there. Nice star note. There we go. There's a nice shift over here. Now, it's still within the confines of what's acceptable according to the BEP. It being a star note and a slight shift over here, I do like the note quite a bit. I really like star notes. I like to hold on to them. And then if they have really good serial numbers or fancy serial numbers, I'll keep them. Otherwise, I'll eventually typically put them back into circulation. But in this case, I like it. I like it also with that shift on the seal, because as you can see, it should be sitting like that. This one's sitting right where it should be. Also a star note, so we got double star notes in a row, which is really nice. 0303 would have been great to see more repetition here, say 03030303. But I'm not going to complain. I like star notes in general. This one's way more beat up than that previous one. It's seen much more damage in circulation, so that's a little bit of a bummer. They're both not too great of serial numbers, but I'm going to hold on to them because I like star notes, and that one has a shift. Getting down there on the last few bills here. Another 2013 $5 note, so we won't talk about that again as far as design. Nothing on the front there. Definitely been wet at some point. That's generally what that wrinkling's from, and then, although you can't, I can feel it in the paper. $10 note, series 2013. So once again, there's 2017 notes, but nothing different graphically on them aside from the signatures of the Treasurer of the U.S. and the Secretary of Treasury. Nothing there. A little bit of a bleed through of something on the back, but that looks like a pen or coffee or something. Series 1999. Don't come across those too often. I like that. Now, there's a couple things you can look for 1999 notes that sometimes are a little more common on them than other $1 notes. For instance, blurring in the signature down here of the Secretary of the Treasury. That's one that happens and I come across on 99 series notes just from the way the signature is done. Sometimes if some sort of binding happens in the feeding process while printing, you'll get some drags on the ink here, and those are things I like to hold on to. Also, I love just the signature style here as well, of both signatures really. But 99 is also really interesting because of a couple things. Other things to keep an eye out for is things like mule notes, and if you're interested in what mule notes are, I do have a video on them from sometime last year, or you can go over to varietyerrors.com, our website, and in the search bar just type mule notes, and we'll give you a whole bunch of info on those. Those are ones that run through the 90s, or well, some of them rather, but you can get the rundown on those in more depth on the website. So that's pretty cool. 2013 series $1 note, really crisp other than this fold right here. Nothing in the serial number. Would have been nice to have a date note there with that 1977 on the end, but that's okay. Nothing on the back. 2013 series. Nothing to talk about as far as graphically, but pretty good condition note despite it fold as well. But nothing really there except for a little bit of pen mark. I thought that might have been an ink smear there in the middle. And last but not least, another 2013 $1 note. I don't see anything going on the front of the note. A little bit of damage, folds, and a little bit of a pen mark there. And nothing on the back. So what did we hold on to? I held on to our $100 note. I'm going to hold on to that one just to look a little bit closer at those marks. We held on to good star note. No date note or birthday note, but still a decent star note. Little bit of repetition in this star note, but tons of damage, so this one might just go back to circulation soon. And last but not least on our finds, a nice little date note. Like I said, I'll check the date to see if anything historically important happened anywhere in the world, but primarily in the US since it's US currency, and I will put it in the description box below. Let me know what you've come across on your coin and bill searching lately in the comments below. We are climbing on our way towards 40,000 subscribers. I thank you so much for letting me share info, bore you, share, cry, cheer, laugh, all that fun stuff with you over the years, and I can't wait to make more videos. I will see you in the next one, and I will see you in the comments below. Peace out.